live in a culture where we believe in separation of church and state. And it's my understanding that Islam feels or believes that the church and the state really must function together. Can you explain, does that come out of the Quran, or is that a later development?
No, the legislative system that Muhammad instituted was pretty much improvised from crisis to crisis. There's no legislative system in the Gospels either. Jesus didn't set up a state. And when Pilate asks him, "Are you a king of the Jews?" he said, "My kingdom is not of this earth." And that's pretty much what Muhammad was saying, but of course, almost instantly when they died, both Christianity and Judaism also, of course, it made the church and state, the theocratic state. We went through a theocratic state as Christians. In fact, it was as late as the 19th century the Pope finally said, you can have a secular state and a religious populace. He had been denying that all the way through up to and through the 19th century. So putting together later history and the original inspiration is a difficult but necessary task for all of the three peoples of the book, as the Quran calls them, the Abrahamic and Mosaic and Christian and Islamic. One of the things that has been totally agreed on in the larger Muslim community is that the Islamic State, so-called, was not a state and doesn't have any Quranic background. They are no more authentic than the Christian terrorists who try to upset abortion clinics and that kind of thing. You have to be pretty religiously dumb to do that. And unfortunately, it's pretty easy to misrepresent Islam because so few have read the Quran. This book I published is a product of my shame. I was embarrassed. After 9/11, I was talking with a group of friends, academic friends, and we were wondering, is this really an Islamic event, the 9/11 attack? And at some point, people asked, well, who here has read the Quran? None of us had. And a friend of mine said, not even you, Gary? I thought you were a student of religion. And I said, yeah, that's the problem. I'm totally ashamed. And so I went and have been trying to repair that stupidity ever since. But I've tried in a lot of venues to ask how many people have read the Quran. Dare I do it now? How many have read the Quran? A minority, certainly. Well, I don't want to shame you, but I do. I think we should all be ashamed. We're throwing our weight around in a world where almost a quarter of the population are Muslims. And not to know, how can you say the Islamic State is a false construct if you don't know what true Islam is?